Another hot one in my little studio. I want to address a recent Facebook post that I posted back on Tuesday of this week. And a couple of things I want to address primarily. First of all, race, President Trump, the squad, my man Beto. And I want to revisit a couple things. For one, I want to respond to some comments because so often I don't get to respond to some of the comments on my Facebook posts. It just gets overwhelming. I get busy. Believe it or not, I have a job. So I just kind of tend to turn the notifications off after a certain point just because I can't keep up with it. But a friend of mine encouraged me to come to video and perhaps address a couple of those comments. So something else I wanted to address was the sheer tunnel vision of the left sometimes. Sometimes the left has just this tunnel vision where they refuse to look at anything else except for the president. You know, they got this tunnel vision, they're honed in, they're locked in on the president, but they forget about all these other things that are going on outside of President Trump and racism and things of that nature. So I do want to address what the president said to the squad, their reaction, and I also want to take a look at some things that we can take a look at next week. So the first thing I want to take a look at is the post I posted was about Beto O'Rourke and his charade by going to who'smydaddy.com or forever21.org or whatever he went to trace his lineage, and by doing so he found out that he was the descendant of slave owners. And I'm trying to figure out why that's important, why that's relevant, why that's a topic of discussion, and why that's not perceived as being racist. Because now what Beto says is, he says something that we've all been talking about in these town hall meetings, the legacy of slavery, and now I, Beto O'Rourke, have a more personal connection with slavery. How, Beto? But okay. And so the left overlooked that foolishness and they went right into Donald Trump and his comments on the squad. And something I want to talk about just real quick is what the president said and what he didn't say. And a lot can be made of that. So what the president didn't exactly say was, if you don't like it, go back home. He just didn't say that. But what the president did say, why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? Then come back and show us how it's done. Now, to me, that's just not racist. And I'm sorry, but the man said they should go back to their crime-infested districts, homes, boroughs, cities, communities, and fix that. And then come back and tell us how it should be done. But if we take it in sound bites, the president said you should go back home. I guess it sounds bad a little bit, And so to address some of the comments you just out of the gate on my Facebook post, were right out of the gate, talking about my children. And so one of the main comments I got several different times and several different variations, forms, and fashions. Joe, how disrespecting a group of colored women, the same as your daughters, by the way. I'm afraid history won't reflect on this well. Well, first of all, history already told us that we're not colored anymore, so colored women, just why not just black women? So colored women to me is crazy. But okay, and then they say, my daughters. And so me and my girls know better than they let words offend us. And my babies, for sure, for sure my babies know that we strive to make it to Congress. And once we get to Congress, surely words won't be the things that get us upset or rattled or off of our game. And so I find that, just to be kind of strange a little bit, because we're at a time and a place where we've made it to Congress. We're women in Congress, black people in Congress, Hispanic in Congress. We're in Congress. And before that never happened, not since Reconstruction, but now we're in Congress and we choose to be offended by the words of our president, but we should also discount that to being purely political and pandering and whatever you call it. But anyway, someone else said, "Hey Joe, are you serious? You really compared the two. So if a non-person of color told your black daughters to go back to their country, ... never mind." So let me break this down. So if a non-person of color, so I guess a white person, because you can't be both, since we want to be going with colored and white. So if a white person told my daughters, go back to their country, they would be telling my, you laughing. They would be telling my girls to go back to the United States or go back to Texas and fix it. Go back to Texas. Go back to Texas and fix it. And when you fix Texas, tell us how to do it. And I guess if you take it in that context, it may or may not sound that bad. It never did sound bad to me, but okay. So that's that. And so something else I want to revisit was that back to that tunnel vision with Beto O'Rourke. How can the left continue to dictate and the media dictate what's racist and what's not racist? Because for some reason I never hear it or know it or feel it to be racist until I hear it from the media, and then all of a sudden it's this reactionary behavior and everything becomes racist, and all of a sudden you got Ocasio-Cortez running around with Squad telling everybody everything is racist. So I did want to address that. And in regards to next week, be on the lookout for the Mueller report. If you want to have nothing for lunch on Wednesday, tune in to the Mueller report. Mueller on Capitol Hill. That's about it for me. Thanks.